Hi, my name is Brittany.
Hi, my name's Anne.
Hi, my name is Amy.
Hi, my name is Megan.
It has to be a developmentally appropriate activity in the curriculum. And with the teacher, then you really need to know your kids' individual differences to know if it's something that's appropriate for them, or if it's something that you think might be too hard for them, or if you need to make special interventions.
It brings down, I guess you could say, it kind of brings down the morale of the classroom. You can kind of tell, I guess, if you think of the teacher as like a leadership position, and when the leader's in a bad mood, it kind of brings everybody else in a bad mood. I think, of course, teachers definitely sense whenever a student's not fully engaged in the classroom. It's important that in a classroom setting that both student and teacher are both fully engaged in order to really reap the full benefit of whatever's being taught at the time. And whenever a student doesn't fully engage in the classroom setting, it detracts from the learning that's going on. The teachers can sense that.
Many of the problems I have to deal with my job, working in oil and gas and as an engineering major, a lot of times I don't really have all the information that's given to us. You've got to look at different things, you've got to think outside the box, you've got to take different ideas that you've seen in similar problems or similar situations and pull everything together.
Do you ever challenge think critically in the class?
Yes. For example, my ethics class, we're always trying to read passages through themselves.
Last question. If a lesson is boring and the professor realizes students aren't fully engaged, what does he or she do?
Some of my professors have offered like off extra credit if you become more involved in class.
then when those kids who you might think aren't ready to go to that level yet, how do you kind of try to bridge that gap for them before they move on to the next grade level?
Just through oral language and having other kids share is a lot of that helps other kids see that, listening to what other kids have to say. It helps get another kid's perspective on whatever it is.
Now, to grasp this, we need to look at the transition that we just finished up with in the last lecture. We had a schema, and it was most important, and it moved through the aspects of life from little Rusty to old Rusty. Now, these transitions that are done here are also transitions in the way that life is experienced or that we interact with society. If we start with little Rusty, one of the things that he's interested in is physical knowledge of his environment. Little Rusty is about discovery. Have you ever seen a baby crawl up to something, and the first thing they do, even if it's an old shoe, they have to try to stick it in their mouth to experience it. You tell them on something, it's hot, don't touch it. And lo and behold, they have to touch it. That is the beginning level of knowledge according to Piaget. It starts with an interaction with the environment and on the level of discovery. Rapidly, as a person matures, however, it moves into the logical mathematical knowledge, which is the knowledge of invention. In other words, the individual is trying to determine how the environment works, why things end up the way they are, what the interactions are, and all of the resultant factors of it. They're thinking their way through it logically or mathematically. If you think about little kids, they go by what they see. And as you grow older, one of the things that you learn to do is to think about events where you're not trapped so much just by sight. That's a more interesting way. And then the third level of knowledge was that of social knowledge. Knowing not only how to think about your environment and understand the patterns that are there, but arriving at common acceptance of things with the remainder of society. Now let's go back and consider this diagram. What we have here is a continuum of development. Little Rusty might well be into discovery of his environment. He wants to stick that old shoe in his mouth. Young Rusty is about logical, mathematical thought. He's moving out of the concrete stage, and he's beginning to think for himself and to try to determine how things happen and why they happen certain ways. Old middle Rusty, my lands, he really is into logical, mathematical thought, but he's beginning to want to operate into the frameworks of society and wanting to fit in. In these theories, what Piaget was doing is telling us that development goes along a continuum. It is not that one stage wipes out the other stage. It is that one stage transitions into the next based upon levels of understanding. That when the logical mathematical stage, a person is able to perform things that they and have knowledge at a level that they are not able to have in that of discovery. Hope you're enjoying this, and
So for many years, economists they have focused on the idea of one dimension of skills, cognition, your intelligence, right? Your ability to solve math problems and things like that. And recently, the people have started looking at things, these soft skills, self-esteem, locus of control, motivation, self-efficacy, things like that. And we had a lot of evidence showing the importance of cognition on labor market outcomes, wages, occupation, employment, and things like that. But we didn't really know the importance of these soft skills, non-cognitive, social-emotional skills. So the evidence is now new evidence. We have new evidence showing that these social-emotional factors are as important as cognitive skills when it comes to labor market outcomes. And secondly, we also have evidence showing that these non-cognitive skills are affecting human behavior in general. The chances of engaging in risky behaviors, things like drug use, alcohol consumption, and issues like those haven't been really explored. And the idea of looking at these two dimensions now, when it comes to public policies, they have huge impact in terms of design, implementation, particularly for developing countries in which people are not really aware of the importance of these skills. We have little evidence on the effect of those on those countries, but the new evidence indicates that when it comes to public policies, this is something we should definitely be looking at.
In the Greater Essex County District School Board, teachers have been exploring ways of promoting metacognitive habits of mind in students. What is metacognition? Metacognition is defined as knowing about one's own mental processes. Individuals who are highly metacognitive know their own skills and abilities and are able to implement strategies to achieve a given outcome. They are able to match appropriate strategies to situations in order to determine a course of action that will help them reach their goal.
Metacognition to me basically means thinking about our thinking. So taking time to look at the experiences we've had, or the things we've read, or the conversations we've had with people, and to take the time to think about what we were thinking about while that person was doing it. So anytime I'm putting kids in a situation, or putting myself in a situation, or other teachers in a situation of metacognition, I'm asking them to reflect. Donald Schoen talked about reflection sort of before the action, during the action, and after the action. So he's showing the three places where metacognition might play out.
Metacognition describes an individual's ability to reach a set goal through planning, selecting and implementing strategies, monitoring, adapting, evaluating, reflecting throughout the process. Metacognitive skills are interdisciplinary, which means that they cross boundaries of subject-specific learning and support students beyond the parameters of the classroom. Developing these skills helps students become highly adaptable and allows them to take increased ownerships of their learning.
If as a teacher I can acquire that intentional skill, that when I'm asking a question I'm aware of it, and I understand what metacognition is, then I'm more likely to play it out.
This video series invites viewers into classrooms where teachers are exploring methods of fostering metacognitive thinking skills in students. These segments highlight some key principles of teaching students to adopt metacognitive habits of mind. The first principle is that students can know themselves as learners. Next, it is important to help students understand that they can increase their own intelligence and actually develop their cognition by increasing their level of effort. Third, by providing students with many opportunities to establish targets and set goals, they develop metacognitive skills. The fourth principle is through explicit teaching of thinking strategies and processes, students can become more metacognitive. Finally, students can monitor, adapt, and evaluate their strategies as they progress towards achieving their goals.
it just really helps them to be able to talk and explore language. And if you make them be quiet all the time, then they're not using language. They're not learning more. They're not learning new words. They're not being themselves enough to grow and mature. And I don't know. I just think it's very important that they I mean, it has to be structured, but at the same time, allow them to make their own choices too.
This was language development and why it is important. So I prepared a diagram to help better assist you guys. Let's begin. Language. What is language? Language is the method of human communication, either spoken or written, consisting of the use of words in a structured and conventional way. This was written by dictionary.com. Who is involved in developing language skills? Siblings, family, parents, teachers, mentors, and peers. What should we consider when observing language development in a child? We should observe developmental factors, behavioral disorders such as autism, bipolar disorder, Asperger's syndrome, fetal alcohol syndrome, attention deficit. We should also consider chromosomal disorders such as Turner syndrome, Down syndrome, Edwards syndrome, Patel syndrome. We should also consider speech impediments such as a lisp, or whether the child is deaf or mute, and also if English is a second language for the child. Our main focus is to help young adults develop into successful speakers in their future careers. Key factors. Diagnostic testing should be performed on school-aged children to determine language development. Language ties together cognitive, social, emotional, and physical development. Language is also utilized during the first cry at birth. How to develop language skills in early childhood. You can utilize sign language development before vocalization. This helps relieve frustration for both communicators. You can also read to young children starting at birth. It develops social, emotional, language, and critical thinking skills. You can sing and chant to children. Children love to sing, especially learn through catchy tunes. It helps develop cognitive, social, language, emotional, and physical skills. How to develop language skills in a classroom setting. Motivate and praise children on language skills. Avoid group work. The goal is to get children speaking, so you should try games that utilize public speaking skills. Never, never, never criticize or correct a child when they use language incorrectly. All right, guys. Thank you. I hope that helps you better understand why language is important. Good night.
You wanna go for a walk? Huh? You wanna go for a walk? Yeah?
Alligator. B, 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 bear. C, 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 cow. D, 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 dinosaur. E, 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 elephant. F, 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 flamingo. G, 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 giraffe. H, 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 hedgehog. Iguana. J, jaguar. K, koala. L, lion. M, 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 monkey. N, 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 newt. O, 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 ostrich.
Boom Boom by Bill Martin Jr. and John R. Kimpholt. Illustrated by Lois L. Moore. A told B and B told C, I'll meet you at the top of the coconut tree. Whee! Said D to E, F, G. I'll beat you to the top of the coconut tree. Chicka chicka boom boom, will there be enough room? Here comes H up the coconut tree. And I and J and tag along K, all on their way up the coconut tree. Chicka chicka boom boom, will there be enough room? Look who's coming, L, M, N, O, P. And Q, R, S, and T, U, V. Still more, W, and X, Y, Z. The whole alphabet up the, oh no! Chicka chicka boom boom. scoodle doot, flip flop flee. Everybody running to the coconut tree. Mamas and papas and uncles and aunts hug their little dears and dust their pants. Help us up, cried ABC. Next from the pileup, skinny D and step-toe E and patched up F. Then comes G, all out of breath. H is tangled up with I. J and K are about to cry. L is knotted like a tie. M is looped, N is stooped. O is twisted, alley-oop. Skit, scat, scoodle doot, flip flop flee. Look who's coming, Miss Black Eyed Pea. Q, R, S, and loose tooth T. Then U, V, W, wiggle jiggle free. Last to come, X, Y, Z. And the sun goes down on the coconut tree. But, chicka chicka boom boom, look, there's a full moon. A is out of bed, and this is what he said. Dare, devil, dare, you can't catch me. I'll beat you to the top of the coconut tree. Chicka chicka boom boom. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me?